Hey everybody! I just got a notification that I'm live. So hi, I'm Christina Irene, because it says my name right there, and that's my there. I don't know if it matches on your screen, but that's what it looks like. I just want to give people a chance to show up and arrive, so I can introduce myself a little bit. I would love to see in the comments where everybody's from. If you want to tell me where you're from, if you want to share what kind of chronic condition or chronic pain that you have, just so that people who have your same thing don't feel alone. That's kind of a big deal. But if you're not comfortable, you don't have to. I kind of remember, I don't know how many people might remember this, but back when there was AOL America Online, and you would get into the chat rooms and you would say ASL, and that would mean like age, sex, location, so you can like make your new friends in America Online. Not seen any comments yet. I'm just trying to see some signs that there's some people here. Oh, hey! Wow, Nottingham. I have a friend from there. Fibro and osteoarthritis. Me too. That's nice to see you, Christine. I wonder if Christines get called Christinas as much as Christinas get called Christines. Hey, from Kentucky. I like Kentucky. Kentucky's a fun place. I got a friend in Bowling Green. California. Oh, ankylosing spondylitis. I have a friend who has that. Yeah, autoimmune fibromyalgia. Lots of fun. Oh, chronic pain and that's so frustrating when nobody can figure out why. So one of the things about me is I'm a speaker and I do a lot of workshops. Well, my business kind of caught COVID, but I do what I can Chris, get called Chris at colleges and universities. And one of the things I always try to teach is like in the awareness is the difference between having a diagnosis and not having a diagnosis, and just the difficulty in not knowing what you have and how that affects your credibility and how that affects your mental health, because you don't know how to start treating something if you don't know what it is. And then also you just like go through the grieving process of all the things it could possibly be instead of just focusing on the one or two terrible things you have. So yeah, I can feel that. It took me a year to get my fibromyalgia diagnosis, so I kind of know what that limbo is like, and I'm sorry to hear that you have that. Sydney, Australia, that's awesome. Hey, I just mailed one of my splat bracelets to Australia. I hope it arrived. Can you knock on a neighbor's door and say, hey, did you get Christina's bracelet from her store? All right, so just a little bit about myself. Again, I want to give some more people time to show up. I am a super contributor on the Mighty. I love the Mighty. And I'm a speaker too. In a past life, I was a stand-up comedian, but don't expect me to be that funny tonight. I might be a little rusty. Plus, it's nice to have like the people with the little tables with the little candles on them. I now am a professional speaker, and I travel to teach awareness and coping skills and such for hidden disabilities. And I've also published a couple books. So the stuff I'm going to be talking about tonight, if you want to get more, you don't have to buy my books. I'm not trying to push my books. I got a lot of stuff on my website, talkingsplat.com, but there are books if you want the books. But there's a lot of good stuff just on the site. It's free. I made it for you. But I have my first one called Talking Splat, Communicating About Hidden Disabilities and How to Talk About It. And then I have another one called Splatficate, which is for advocates. So this is the one that you give your spouse whenever they're acting insensitive. Not necessarily. I'm not calling your spouses insensitive. So I actually hope to share something a little bit later that can help with relationships and communicating in relationships. Let me catch up on comments. Oh my gosh, they changed an ankylosing spondylitis diagnosis to fibro. Whoa. Wow. Oh, interesting. Okay, so, oh, I see. We're getting like the comments that I'm talking about up on the screen. That's neat. Okay, this is my first time using this software. I'm really liking it so far. All right, so here's a question for you to keep the chat going a little bit. I am curious if any of you have any strong opinions about the pain scale. How do you feel about that pain scale? You know, that 1 to 10, how much pain are you in right now? Or what's your worst pain? What's your best pain? I mean, I know there's some variations out there, but I'm wondering what your opinion is about it. Hey, what time is it in the UK, by the way? You think it's rubbish? Yeah, right. Yeah, rubbish is British for terrible. Yep. Yeah. Okay, well, it's a joke. It's just kind of hard to put a number on it. Pain is pain. We're all different. Yeah, that's very true. So, doesn't work when you're in custody. Yeah. All right. So, I want to introduce to you what I created, and I call it the splat system. It's kind of my take on the pain scale, but it's not really a pain scale. And I hope you like it. I don't know. Does anybody know my work? Has anybody read my articles or know my splat stuff, or any of my neighbors on here? Anybody familiar with splat? Just raise your hand. There's no way to raise your hand. You have to just say yes. Oh, always in pain, so there is no zero. That's what I'm talking about. That's kind of a thing that I have addressed on Splat. Okay, so story about Splat. Here we go. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was working at a corporate job. And again, my diagnoses, I have fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis, chronic fatigue syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, and degenerative disc disease, DDD. So those are my diagnoses. And I remember when I first got fibromyalgia, it was super, super hard at work. And, it's every day you feel different, and you don't know really how terrible you're going to be from one day to the next. And at my job, I had my people, whenever you have your people that you can talk to about whatever and not get judged. And they can't fix it. They're not going to be able to make my pain stop or make my day less terrible, in any actual concrete way. But just having people know what I was going through was really helpful. I mean, that's one of the greatest things about awareness. That's why we're here. That's why we're having Pain Awareness Month. It's just when people know, it is really helpful. So I had my people, and but I got tired of going in every day, and it was the graphic designers at my company. I was a copywriter, and it was my crew. And I would go in and talk to the graphic designers and just tell them how I was feeling. But I got kind of tired of listening to myself be like, oh, I'm really tired today. Oh, my feet really hurt today. My brain's not working. Every time I pick something up, I drop it. It's not fun when it's hot coffee. So one day I just walked in and I was like, well, with what I have, every day I feel like I've been run over by something. That's just a given. It's just a different something on different days. And at that point, instead of going in and listing my symptoms, I would just walk in and be like, it's a tractor trailer day. And they instantly knew what I was going through. So I ended up coming up with an actual set system, and that's kind of what my books are built out from. But it's called the Splat system, and it is teaching and awareness and communication based on that message that, yes, every day we feel like we've been run over by something. It's just a different vehicle on different days. And it also addresses that whole moving target thing. It's not always the same. So, when people are like, why can't you do this today? You could do that yesterday. And we can be like, well, yesterday was a sedan day. Today is a freight train day. So I will actually Groundhog Day. Well, that's not one of my vehicles. So I'm going to show you my vehicles. Okay, I'm going to do a screen share here, and I'll talk you through my little system. And this is just the language, and then I'm going to show you cool stuff that you can do with it. So let me get the right clicky thing. There's my screen share. Let's go to this. All right, these are my vehicles. This is my Splat scale. And it is actually color-coded, but I didn't want to do the big complicated one. I just wanted to show these to you. I drew these. I hope you like them. So it starts with, so actually your middle, and I color-coded it at white, is the sedan. So that's that Buick-looking thing in the top row. And then the best days are moped days. So that's that little motorbike there, and that's green. Because again, we still don't have any days that we don't feel like we've been run over by something. And then the kind of good days I call it the Euro car. So that's why I drew like a little Fiat thing. So your sedan is your standard, and then your better days are going to be the lighter vehicles. And then as it gets worse, there's the pickup truck day. Then you got your tractor trailer day. Then your heavier one, pickup's yellow, tractor trailer orange. Freight train is your heavier one, that's red. And then I thought, what's worse than being hit by a freight train? And the only thing I could come up with was asteroids. So those are the worst days. Those are the days that you're just kind of like not even present in life. So that's my splat scale. And there's cool things that you can do with it. Wait, I hit stop sharing. Why do I have the screen on here? Hold on. I'm just finding my way around life here. Okay. If you did not see that, let me know. But I think I showed you the vehicles. So with the splat scale, the cool thing about it is that this is something you can use to describe how you're feeling. And it's not just for pain. It is also something for mental health. I have a friend who I have splat bracelets. I make. I mean, you can make your own, but I do have an Etsy shop that if you get to talkingsplat.com, you can find my Etsy shop. But you can make your own. I mean, it's your thing. You don't have to do anything else. But this is my splat bracelet, and I have a pendant on for right now. I'm at a sedan. Woohoo! I have a friend who actually has a splat bracelet, and she puts 2 different colors on it because she has one. It's called a splatus for her mental health, and one splatus for her pain that day. So she might be like, moped pain, but tractor trailer mental health. So once you get the hang of it, there are a lot of ways that you can use it and play with it. So it's kind of cool to use to have your secret code with your friends if you want to. You can use it to talk to your people. You can use it to spread awareness. You can teach it to people. I know you've probably heard of like Spoonie and the spoon theory and all that. I like the spoon theory, but I just like mine better. And I want everybody to know splat, the whole world. I don't know how to make that happen, but if you help me, we can make everybody know what this means and recognize that, I do have another thing. This is on the web page. You can print this out and make it. There's directions on it, or there's a little video on there, but this is a splat cube. And is it too bright? I don't know if you can see. Let me get it close to the camera. There it is. So this is a little cube thing, and all you got to do is print out the pieces of paper and like follow the directions, and you make it. And you can change it to whatever your splatus is. So if you're at your job or at school or just at home, then you can like set up what splatus you're at and let people see, and also communicate with yourself so that you don't overdo it. Also, so that you don't use it as an excuse. Like me, I need to get my butt in the gym, and I can't use my fibromyalgia as an excuse if I'm at a Euro car or a sedan day. I need to go. I'm reading my comments now. All your pain team wants you to do is exercise. You can't. You can just stretch, but too much exercise wipes you out totally. I hate that. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So let me show you something to do with the splat system. Well, first of all, I got to put my splatus back. So splatus is what you're at that day. Splat is the name of the system. I'm a splatty. We're splatties, like spoonies, but we're splatties. And the splatficate, which is what the title of this book for, is an advocate for a splatty, or somebody who supports a splatty. That's splatficate. So before I get any further, I really want to just do a big plug for communication. And actually, the Mighty just published today an article that I wrote, and it's about pain and the splat scale. And it has in it like my reasons to communicate. Probably explained about as much as I'm going to explain it now, but some good, really solid, important reasons why we should talk about our pain. And these reasons include, one is simply connecting. like to get off of our islands, to not be alone in our pain. Anytime I talk about what I'm going through, people show up and say, oh yeah, me too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I don't feel so alone anymore. And it's kind of like at my job when I would walk in and say, hey, here's how I'm feeling. And it was better just to know somebody new. So whenever you talk about what you're going through, you give somebody else permission to do the same, and you give them permission to do the same, but you also like have that connection, and they know that they're not alone. So it's cool. And you also work to normalize it. And that's another one of my reasons, is just simply awareness is important, because it can really help defeat stigma. The more we talk about our stuff, the more we make it okay to talk about our stuff, the more we defeat that stigma and that expectation that we're supposed to keep things to ourselves. And another great thing that comes out of communication is that, okay, let's talk about it. People will understand that it's real. And, oh, thanks, Michelle. I appreciate that. Michelle said, congratulations on getting published. I love it. Anytime Mighty publishes one of my articles, it's the biggest honor ever, because I love the Mighty so much. Like, that's what I mean. I'm so proud of my t-shirt. But as soon as we talk about this and get it out there more and get it more known, then we're going to get funding. We're going to get research. We're going to get credibility. We need to get people to know that fibromyalgia is real. We need to get medical professionals to know that fibromyalgia is real. And I'm not going to stray too much. And I also do like women's empowerment stuff, and I don't want to stray too much, but there's the intersection of gender and medicine and disability. It really frustrates me. There's so much sexism. So I'm going to guess that most of the people who are watching right now are women, because somehow chronic conditions, chronic pain tend to skew a little bit. Like, there are more women with autoimmune diseases, more women diagnosed with fibromyalgia and a lot of conditions and chronic pain than there are men. But I'm not going to get too far into like, also men really need this message, because there's that whole idea that men really just need to suck it up and be a man and not talk about our pain. So again, it helps all genders when we normalize this. We get more credibility for women, more permission for men. And I'm not trying to be too binary here either. I'm just trying to say that we just really need to open the doors for everybody to feel okay talking about their stuff. There's a lot of just different communities who don't talk about disability, don't talk about pain. I just say talk as I'm talking. I'm looking and reading some of my comments here. Don't mind me. I might have a couple dizzy moments here and there. That's the fibro. Man, it makes me sad that so many people, there's also disconnect with race and chronic pain. That's, I'm not going to say I understand it, because I'm white, but I have been in different communities and have heard that, and have spoken with people and different communities who were so grateful to have somebody show up and open the door to talk about things. I spoke at a Native American Pueblo, and that was one of the coolest things I ever got to do. What a great community of people. But there's so much race, socioeconomics, cultural background, religious background, any intersection you can think of, it's there. So yeah, don't feel bad for taking breaks or time for you. Oh, and I'm an artist and have a heart to stop. Listen for your body, yeah. Okay, so that being said, I want to show you my favorite thing, and this is the way to put splat into use. So two of the other reasons to communicate, they're kind of the same reason, setting expectations. If you communicate, then you can set expectations of other people, because what we have, most of us, a lot of us, is a moving target. We don't know how we're going to feel from one day to the next. So like whenever somebody says, oh, yesterday you were able to do that, but today you can't. Communicating can eliminate that. Me communicating to you that I have fibromyalgia, great way to set expectations, because then if I stutter a little bit or slur my speech, then I can say it's a cognitive impairment, and you're not going to think the wrong thing or think something that's untrue about me, like that I'm started a little bit early today with the and a huge thing though is to set expectations of yourself. So the setting expectation of yourself thing, that's why I invented what I call the impact map. And all the impact map is, it's a guide for me And I have some examples sitting here that I can show you, and I'm going to do some more screen sharing. But this is what it looks like if you print it out from my website. I have these on my website. You can print them out. There's directions on them and some tips. So all of the stuff is there for you. This is another special one. I'll show you this one in a moment. Let me get back to screen share, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let me do this. All right, let's get back into here. I'm just going to have to skip through here. Okay. These are my doodles again. Let me just, oh, yep. That is, no, it doesn't go backwards. Okay, this is one of my original impact maps that I made. And this I draw on my little moleskin. And so all you do is along the left there, you label some rows for your splatus, how you're going to feel or how you're feeling. And then in the columns, you label what you need to do, your routines. So this is the way you can actually keep a routine. You know how it's hard to say, I'm going to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because you don't know how you're going to feel Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, with this, you commit to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then you decide on your workout based on how you feel. And you have to make this ahead of time. You can't put yourself into the position in the moment to make that choice. Am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? Because that's too much pressure. So this is something you need to just take time when you're feeling well, when you're at like a sedan day or better, and you make this commitment to yourself. Amica is the name of my dog. So this is how I I will take her on the longer walks when I'm feeling great. I can't like skimp and say, oh, I got other things to do or I'm not feeling well enough. No, I need to take care of my dog. But if I'm not feeling well, the quick empties, I empty my dog. That's what you do when you have a dog. I can just take her out and take her out until she goes number 2. I have a fenced-in yard. She refuses to go in it. She has to destination poop. She's been that way all her life. She's 12 years old. So anyway, this alleviates the guilt of not doing the thing, but it also eliminates your ability to make excuses. And the best way to do these, I'll show you some more here. This is the one that you can print out from my website. So here's like some examples. When you do this, here's an example column for like schoolwork if you're a student. Fill in the middle row first, and that's the pickup truck, tractor, trailer. That's the kind of bad days with what you must get done. That's a good starting point, and then you fill in the rest. But notice, as much as possible, keep it quantifiable. Because I was doing this at a school one time, and a student said, oh, well, if I'm a pickup truck, I'll go to most of my classes. And I'm like, well, what is most of your classes? What does that mean? Don't put yourself in the position in the moment where you have to make the decision. That defeats the purpose. So some other examples, you can actually like write down the chores that you need to do. There's the workout again. You see how I start with the middle. And then I do this now with all my current impact maps, and I make a self-care column. And here you do more based on how you're feeling. So if you're feeling great, or, we never feel great, but you avoid your triggers, do a little bit of self-care if you're at a pickup truck or heavier. And if you're at a freight train or asteroid, then you get out the emergency supplies. I'm going to show you something right now, by the way. I don't like how my screen does this. I'm coming back to you. I just got to find my way back. When I do stop sharing, it doesn't bring me back to this. I'll learn that someday. That is the impact map. But one thing I want to show you, and there's an article on the Mighty about this. If you find my profile on the Mighty, I'm Christina Irene. I'm this. I don't know if we can put a link up to that or not, but if you find my profile, you'll see my stories. Go to the story that just published today that you got the link to, and look at my other stuff. But there's a story on there about a thing called the splat quake kit. So I call it a splat quake. You know how you have an earthquake kit if there's an earthquake? Well, I have a little care package that I make for myself, and I keep stocked for when I'm having my worst days, if I'm on a run of freight train asteroid days or something like that. And there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can pull items from around the house that you need for your self-care on those asteroid freight train days, the things that you write down in that box on your impact map, put them in one spot, have them ready to go. The other thing you can do is you can go basically make yourself a gift basket and save it for the days and you're really going to need it. And I'll show you my current one right now. And if you have a splatty buddy, this is a great time to go out as friends and go shopping together and make your splat quake kits together. And you can even write each other little notes of encouragement to open on that day. Wouldn't that be cool? So my current splat quake kit is this, and I used this upcoming thing to justify filling it with some new stuff. So I have in mind a new movie. I can't wait to watch it. I always like to have a movie in there. I mean, what do you need whenever you're not feeling well, right? I definitely always need new Legos. I can't get enough Legos. And there's going to be an article coming out soon that just keep an eye out that I'm going to talk about my Legos in. Scented candle. And then I have a special treat for my dog because when I give her treats, it makes me happy. And then I have a selection of, I'm only going to pick up my little, by the way, as I'm looking awkward and fumbly, it's because I can't sit. So I stand to do these, and my laptop is on a step ladder, so I'm balancing things on a step ladder right now. If you hear a crash, it's because they got unbalanced. But I have a selection of hearty soups because it's soup season. So I always think of all right, what don't I want to do? Well, I don't want to cook. I probably should get paper, I know it's not good for the economy, but lumberjacks have to eat too. So paper bowls, so I don't have to do dishes. But think ahead for yourself and plan something for yourself that's nice, that's a treat. Another cool way to use splat and use the impact map and communication and stuff, I mentioned friends and buddies, is how you feel bad making plans because you worry you're going to cancel them? It's the same thing. You just make that commitment, you're going to make your commitment to go to the gym. Just pick a date. Pick a date that you're going to hang out with your bestie and commit to the day. And then decide what you're going to do based on what your status is. So if you're having one of your better bad days, you do the whole thing. You do dinner and a movie, go do some putt-putt, go have a good time. If you're at a tractor trailer or a pickup truck, maybe just go out to dinner together or go and grab a cup of coffee. And if you're at freight train or asteroid, well, that's whenever your friend shows up with some takeout pho and you watch some Netflix together. And there you keep your plans. And it's kind of fun to pick, okay, if this, then this, if this, then this. And then it's always something to look forward to. So any comments or questions about splat? Anything you want me to repeat? Anything that you find exciting? Anything that you feel inspired to do now? Any ideas for a splat quake kit? It's your turn. I'm reading. This is my I'm reading look. I'm seeing some people communicating with each other. It sounds like maybe having some bad connections. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the splat map, which is how to sit down with your partner and come up with what you're going to do for each other, or what they're going to do for you, or what they need to do for themselves based on what your status is. Looking for comments, questions. I wonder how many of you type like this and how many of you type like this. I was at the post office the other day, and the postal attendee was very frustrated with me for wanting to mail something to Australia. And because he was just not that familiar. And he was also frustrated with typing. And I joked around with him a little bit because he was typing everything in like this. And I was like, you have 10 fingers and you're only using one. Great to use in schools for kids. So actually, yes, I do talk about this in schools, and I do, recommend some student-specific things. You have to, of course, be mindful of legislation and policy whenever you're dealing with people who have an IEP or something like that. But the idea of opening the door to have a student, if they choose, um, have a way to let you know what their status is that day, or decide what your expectations are going to be based on how they're feeling. And right now, as parents and a lot of students going to school from home, that's another thing you can do, is like make it based around the assignment. um, what you have a product you use that's brilliant, and it's in your get well kit. That's cool. Yeah. And you have a fibro diary. That's really great. You should submit an article about your fibro diary and share with people how to do that and what it does for you. I'm not like, I don't get to choose what articles get published. I'm just saying that sounds neat. I would read it. um, yeah, I mean, the first article I ever submitted to the Mighty was about my splat system, and they published it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I just started writing a few more. Any ideas on ways to use it for school and home? Yes. So everything is quantifiable, or not everything is quantifiable. So maybe at the beginning of a day or beginning of each week, you can lay out assignments. And I don't know, maybe you could have like I'm just coming up with this off the top of my head. Let's say Friday is a half day of school, or they get to do like not as much on Friday. But that could be your spillover time if they need that to catch up. So you could actually have in an impact map, if you're at this day, or this day, these are the assignments you have to get done, and list the specific assignments and what needs to get done. And I actually do this with myself with chores. Here's a whole list of assignments for the entire week. Based on how you're feeling, these are how many assignments you need to do. And you get to pick which assignments you do. So that still leaves a factor of choice. Like, oh, these look terrible, let me do these instead. So you can even take out the whole, honestly, you can take out the whole based on how you feel is how many you do. You can just like give that choice. It depends on who it is. I'm just coming up with ideas here. Any other parents, feel free to jump in and build on what I say, or counter what I say, or have your own suggestions. I like these ideas that you come up with, things that the products that's the article that's going to be coming out, is like what products are helpful. So it'll be on it'll be on the chronic illness on the Mighty. It'll be on that page. So, or you can just keep up with me, and it'll be an article about like people's favorite products. But it's actually mental health products for people with chronic pain or chronic illnesses, like what helps you stay happy. And mine's my Legos. That's my thing, because you saw my Legos. And there'll be a picture of me with my house shipped that I just built. Any questions right now? I want to show you the Splatficate map. Oh, I am going to show you, I really just want to show you this instead of, the screen share, I feel like I disconnect from you. I don't know why I feel like that, because I can't see comments then. But this is one of my versions of an impact map. Let me see if it's on camera. And you can see it has the different things, quantifiable. But over here, I have a special column that I made, and there it is. It's called things. And what I do in that column is I write down all the chores I need to do. And you can see in this is like my week, kind of. It says, based on how I'm feeling, how many things I have to do. And then I get to pick which things I do. And this has actually worked out pretty well for me. Okay, I want to show you the Splatficate map. This is also available. I just realized there is an article on the Mighty that I published about this. And I think it's linked to another article. But you can find all this stuff on my website, Talking Splat. So I'm going to show you. Oh, also, if you ever go on my website, talkingsplat.com, you can subscribe to a newsletter there. But there's like a little field, and Actually, just if you go to that website and you go to at the top, it'll say contact, and you go on a little contact form. You can write me an email through there and I will respond to you. I will talk to you. And if you just want to say hi, if you want to ask a question, if you're like, Christina, you were explaining this thing on that thing, but you're talking too fast, and can you help me out here? Or, hey, you mentioned an article, but I can't find it. Just whatever. I'm available, and I love to help people. That's what I do. So I'm going to show you this thing. Let's go back to my here. Let's jump back in here. There's one of my impact maps. I use the poop emoji in this for the, this is what I was talking to you about, walking Amica. Let's get to the right thing here. Come on. There we go. Okay. There's a thing called a Splatficate map. And actually, one of my newsletter subscribers, it was really, really cool. I'm not there yet. Yeah, this is the one. Sorry. I just threw all these slides in here that I might want to show you, and now I have to go through them all to get to the one I do want to show you. Nope. There it is, the Splatficate map. So one of my readers who's kind of become a kind of a pen buddy, she actually sat down with her wife and did one of these, and she sent me a picture of what it looks like, and it was really, really cool. And I do hope it's helping them. But her wife is like super supportive and amazing from everything she says. It's great. Gives me hope. But here's the Splatficate map. And as you can see, the first thing you do is you explain what it feels like. So if I'm at one of these splatuses, so you can actually just say to your partner, your parent, your child, your coworker, you can actually just say, if I'm at a moped, read this on the Splatficate map, and it's going to tell you how I feel, what it means. So you can say what it means. Then in the next column, it has like, here's what I need if I'm at one of these. Here's things that will help. Here's what not to do. And then finally, to be considerate of your partner, here's what to do for yourself. Because a lot of times, having chronic pain, having chronic conditions, it's a strain on a relationship, not because they don't want to be with somebody who has chronic pain or chronic conditions, but because they care so much about you, but they don't know what to do, and they're frustrated. So this is a great way to say, hey, here's what to do, and here's how to keep taking care of yourself. And this is that. This is just actually just the image that's in my book Splatficate. So even though this doesn't look exactly like that other one I just showed you, it's the same thing. It's the same columns. You see it has the vehicles. And again, you can print out the whole thing on my website. You can print out the empty one, and it has the little instructions. But I pretended that I had a partner and I wrote this up. To be like what I would want for my partner. But it's a wonderful thing to sit down and do together. Like, agree on it, explain it, and then this is your guide moving forward. So let me do the stop sharing. Let me get my face back for you. Let me get my face back for me. There I am. So what do you think? Oh, we love the impact map. Cool. Yes, it really is. It really is good for scheduling, like just to set a routine. And the other thing I like about the impact map a lot is that it helps me feel less stressed, like worried about how am I going to get all this done. I draw it out in my impact map. I write the things in the places where they need to go. There's a version, and this is, I think, only in my book, where there's a way you can do it actually for the week, like draw it a different way. And so it's not like workout in general, not like chores in general, not like dog walking in general, but like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What am I going to do that day if this is how I feel? And it's always great to leave a block, a catch-up time for the stuff that you might not have got done because you weren't feeling all of that great on one of the days. But once you put the thing on the paper, you don't worry about it so much. Like when I made up my thing that has things, I don't stress out that I'm not getting these things done because I put them somewhere. And that feels like, all right, they're going to happen. I put them somewhere. They're on paper. It's okay. Oh, thanks, Monica. I appreciate that. Thanks, Tanisha. Well, I've been talking for a little while, and I'm going to stick around, but and that's kind of all I wanted to show you and share with you. So now I just want to interact a little bit. I want to hear your thoughts and ideas, give you a chance to share with each other. Maybe how do you feel like you're going to use your impact maps if you're going to make one? What are some good ideas for columns or categories? You know, I had work, exercise, dog walking. What are some other things that you do? I mean, even if you're working on a novel, you know, or an art project, even though it's a pleasure and it's a joy, maybe it's something that you want to still maintain discipline and a routine. The website is talkingsplat.com. Yeah. Yes, talkingsplat.com. You can't find it? Did we get the wrong link up there? It is talkingsplat.com. And I can show you, actually. Hey, I can do that as a screen share. Let's do that real quick. Yeah, talkingsplat.com. That's right. I thought it looked right. So let's do, am I in Chrome? Can I share a Chrome tab? I can. So here, I'll show you Splat. So this is Splat. This page has the whole system. And it has these are printouts that have, like, you know, what the vehicles mean. There's my video about what to do. The link to Amazon. I did have my store linked on here, but it's just splattystore.com. But for some reason, the link broke. I don't, and I'm mad at Etsy, but I haven't had the time or bandwidth to deal with it. So you actually have to literally type in if you want to go there. And these are all the downloads I talked about. Here's your impact map, your Splatficate map. This is if you want to make the Splat Cube, and here's my little video about how to make it. And I even made these that you can, they're just pictures that you can download. I made them like square for Instagram, so you can actually post these on social media. Oh no, they're actually, no, I had to change the shape because they look terrible on Facebook, so we fixed them up. And then here's links to some of my articles. I don't know how long it's been since I updated, but I'm going to show you. Over here is Super Empowerment blog. That's kind of my word. I use Super Empowerment. I have a ton of ageism and ableism. A lot of articles you can scroll through and take a look. And I try to be really upbeat and uplifting. I have my article about like how I decorate like crazy. I'm a maximalist. So there's a lot of cool stuff on there. And if you go over here to contact Christina, there's where you can just type a little note to me and I will respond to you. So I'll stop sharing that. Get back to here. Okay. It's you. Your spelling has gone mad since having fibro. Oh, I'm telling you, man, the fibro brain, it's a thing. What if it gets to the end of the week and you don't get all your things done? Well, there's a couple strategies that you can use, and well, I don't get all my things done. So you can prioritize your things. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so at least you get your top 4, or you get your top 5, top 7. Put at the bottom of the list thing that you're not going to do, or just make sure you leave room for all your things, and then you can have like, or you do have like priority things, and you have bonus things. You know, there's a lot of ways that you can do that. That's a good question. I like that question. Thank you. And then there's always, you know, one of the things, like I said, that I like to do in my impact map is kind of under the pickup truck, tractor, trailer truck. It's kind of like if you have a job and you have the best boss ever, what would be amazing is to have an agreement that, and again, I'm just giving personal opinion. I am not a human resources expert or an attorney. I'm just making that disclaimer. But it would be nice if you could just say, here's my splatus each day, and like sit down with your boss and be like, all right, let's agree on what I'm going to do. And then you make the promise that, hey, I'm going to go above and beyond and bust my tail when I'm at these splat eye. And then if I'm a pickup truck or tractor trailer, I'm going to do exactly what your expectations are. Freight train asteroid, I'm going to slack a little bit because that's just what I have to do to get through the day and show up to work. That's my dream world. Again, I'm not promising any legalities of everything because There's company policy, there's just everything, privacy rights, all of that. How do you stop feeling so guilty and negative, feeling overwhelmed with every to-do? I know. I don't know what would work for you. Not that nothing will, I just know what works for me. And me having it just written on paper really helps. Just having it put down, like, I'm going to get to it. And then it really is just like one thing. I know there's like, it's hard to sit down and even start a list when there's so many things and you don't know where to start. Just start where you start. Just pick a spot and start. Don't put a lot of pressure in that beginning. It's kind of like writing a paper, writing a manuscript, writing a novel, anything. Just, you can revise it. It's not written in stone. Just start it and then fix it as you go. Fix it when you're done. Just get something. Do it wrong and then do it right. I hope that helps. Pads of to-dos. Oh, I'm liking how you're suggesting things for each other. Making a chalkboard to remind you what needs to be done. Trying to find a way. I think I found the way. Oh, yay! Cool. Yeah, this would be really neat on a chalkboard, right? Pads of to-dos. Yeah. Do you have a list of your lists? have you reached that point yet? You lose your list. Oh no. I don't know what. Well, you need a list place. You need a place where lists go. You need that chalkboard. I have a whole wall. I can't really show you it very long. That's my novel. Spoiler alert! I have a whole chalkboard wall in this room. Don't steal my plot. I'm not worried about you stealing my plot. I'm worried about you knowing the ending before I get it done in, like, I don't know, 2050. I gotta get novel. Well, here, look, see, it's on this one. It's not on my current right now one, but it's on that one. Really good, my website. You like the website? Oh yeah, my board. Yeah, it's cool. I'm a little bit nuts because I love to organize things, but I love to be creative. So all my creativity has to follow like I love writing formatted poetry, like sonnets and sestinas. If there's a system or a structure, I thrive in that and trying to make things fit in the structure and also just using the structure. I do Sudoku puzzles, like really hard ones to relax. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to stationery. Yeah, I'm gonna head out soon. Any final comments? I'll stick around. My clock says 6:48, so I want to do a stop at 6:50. But does anybody have any final comments or questions? I love what you're sharing with each other. An app that you use. Add your tasks. Habitica. That's cool. It's great. I'm an Aries. I'm so glad everybody joined me. All right, don't forget, I am available if you want to say hi to me through my website. Keep coming back and hanging out on the Mighty. If it's going to do you as much good as it's done me, the Mighty is an amazing spot. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're together. Thank you for valuing this message. Thank you for being brave and being out here with your conditions and being in front of people with your conditions. It helps us all when you do this, so thank you. Christine, you're like my UK sister. That's just it. That's a thing. Oh, you're welcome, Christine. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap up there. You know where to find me, so be well, everybody. I wish you light, splat eye, and I'll see you around the Mighty.